Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all look, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I know, you're probably saying, what you talking about, Willis? It's a bit early for all that. You're not wrong, and I'll explain, but before we get into all that, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I will get myself a tasty holiday beverage. I'll get the felons settled down and we can talk about what I'm talking about. All right, y'all, I got my tasty beverage. I got my furry felons who are about to get exiled because they're going to be driving me crazy in a minute because we got some stuff we need to talk about here. So I know it's just barely past Halloween. It is November 6th at the time of this taping. But y'all, we need to talk about Christmas because we got a lot of Christmas books to read. Now, I know we haven't even wrapped up our Halloween spooky book reading yet. I haven't talked to y'all about the books that I read. That's coming, I promise. But we're going to need ample time to read our Christmas books. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk about our Christmas book TBR so we can get started on that. And then we'll double back and talk about what we read for October, our spooky books, what we liked, what we didn't like, all of that. Okay, there's plenty of time for that. But we need to get going on our Christmas stuff because look, the holiday channels are already playing Christmas movies. Hallmark has been playing Christmas movies for like a month now. So they're doing that. The stores already have Christmas decorations out. So y'all, I don't feel like we're jumping the gun here. I feel like we're actually a little bit behind schedule because other folks already got their Christmas stuff going. So let's talk about this. I have some Christmas books here, and y'all know we've talked about this. Christmas books have become a bit of a compulsion for me. I don't know why. But let's talk about the books that we have and what we know about them, which for some of these is not a whole lot. So you go. Go on now. So let's start with One Day in December. Not sure where this came from. And most of these, y'all, we've hauled in different hauls, and I just kind of like stuck them aside on a shelf so that we could talk about them in our What We're Reading for Christmas vlog. So let's start with One Day in December. Now this is set in London, and I think, if I recall correctly, our main character is riding the bus and she's like the cynical, doesn't believe in love or doesn't believe in love at first sight or something until she sees Mr. Hottie McHottie through the bus window or like on the bus or something, and somehow like she sees him but then they can't talk. Maybe he's at the bus stop, something about the bus, and she sees him out the window and then she's like, well, I'll have to see him again, right? Like we'll have to cross paths again, which they don't until one day in December, she sees him at a Christmas party. So it's like the, love at first sight and then no more sight and then sight again. Is that, I just totally just made up that trope. Anyway, so that's One Day in December. Debbie Macomber, go ahead and laugh at me. Y'all will recall, we read, actually last Christmas, we read one of her books. I don't remember what it was. I liked it, but I confused it with another book that I didn't so much enjoy. So I kept like thinking that maybe I did or didn't like her and I couldn't remember. But then I remembered that I do like her, so now I've been buying her books. So this is one of the books, I think this might have been the first book of hers that I bought once I decided that we do like her. This is 3 short stories. The only one I know anything about is there's one about it's like the Forgetful Bride, and it's something about little kids that like pretend to get married, and maybe she like forgets that they're married. She's the forgetful bride, and then they meet again later or something. Okay, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but y'all, what show was it where, oh Lord have mercy, I should edit this out and I just don't have the sense to. Gossip Girl. On Gossip Girl, remember, what's her name, the blonde chick? When she starts dating that super annoying hippie guy that always looks like he needs a shower, when the caterpillar, Simon the Caterpillar or whatever, that they had met at camp, and he gave her a licorice ring, and they got married at camp. Anyway, I know I'm way down. Serena. I'm way down a rabbit hole. Anyway, the little bit that I know about this story reminds me of that. Like the pretend got married back then, and then they meet again as adults. I think maybe that's this story. And that's the only one that I even remotely know anything about. But short stories, I thought this would be good because it's not like too much of a commitment, so we can get back into the Debbie Macomber and see if we really like her. But then I lost my mind and I bought this one. This is another Debbie Macomber book, and this one is the dude, so like the male main character is a dad who's recently lost his wife, and he has like the unruly kids, and it reminds me of the book that we read last year. Was it James Patterson, and it was the 12 topsy-turvy something days of Christmas. And it is a widower who is a college, I know I'm talking, this isn't even the book we're talking about, but it's a different book, but I liked that book. I'll stick it here or somewhere. But he's a college professor, and his wife passed away, and he's got kids, and they're a little bit unruly. And they end up sort of, anyway, it's magic and it's fun, and it's a little bit crazy and very topsy-turvy, but this reminded me of that with the man who lost like the love of his life, and he's got these unruly kids that he can't control, and his life's in chaos and his house is in chaos, and they can't keep a housekeeper, and Christmas, the holidays are approaching, and then like this like magical, I don't know if it's actual magic, but this like miracle, Ms. Miracle shows up to sort of bring order into his life. And that's all I know about this, and that we actually think that we do like Debbie Macomber. So we'll give this one a shot, see what happens there. Sleigh Bells Ring, Rayanne Fain. Y'all, look at the beautiful cover of this book. I know, quit judging books by the cover. So this one, the main character, whose name I don't know, is living on land. She's like the caretaker of land that used to be her family's land until her grandfather or great-grandfather or somebody sold it to a billionaire. And I think she's just like working there, taking care of it. Well, then somebody dies, like her sister dies or her brother's wife, somebody dies. And she has a niece and nephew who are now motherless at Christmas time. And she decides that what harm could it be to bring the kids to the land to spend Christmas? Because I guess the owners are never there or something until this one Christmas they show up. So, and shenanigans ensues from there. Without really knowing anything about this book, I'm guessing that there's, again, shenanigans ensues, and there has to be some kind of romance, right? So the dude that shows up has to be an age contemporary of our female main character, and so there has to be some kind of like Christmas romance ensuing there. At least that's how it's happening in my head. I'm gonna read the book. I will tell y'all how it goes. And I don't know, it just has to be fabulous, because look at that fun cover with the snowy and the truck and stuff. And y'all, I'm stalling. I'm so stalling because Kristen Hanna. Y'all know what happens when I get, can y'all see that? Beautiful cover. It says, it's, I don't know if that's picking up in the light, but Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hanna. I know nothing about this, but y'all, I never know anything about a Kristen Hanna book when I go into it. Here's what I know about Kristen Hanna. Her books have broken my heart in a way other than Beartown. Y'all know me and Benji and Beartown. Give me a second. Okay. Other than Beartown, and you know, the like Great Gatsby, like the classics that just absolutely kill you when you read them, Kristen Hanna books have affected me like no other book ever because, and we've talked about this before, and y'all, if you know, you know, here's what she does. So she writes these characters that just like suck you into their lives. Like whether you like them or you hate them or you're just kind of like, okay, whatever, you have good hair, they suck you in. And so you're like plotzing along through the book with them and, you know, you're getting involved in their lives and then something tragic happens. And you make it through that and, you know, there's some crying and some, you know, some tears and some whatever. You make it through that and you're like, oh, okay, I got through this, haha, I didn't get Kristen Hanna'd, and things level out. And then something so tragic that it literally changes your molecules happens. And y'all, we call that getting Kristen Hanna'd. And I fall for it every single time. So I'm hoping, like, usually her books are like Mo Gator thick. This one's not at all Mo Gator thick. It's a couple hundred pages, and look, they're like little pages. So I'm hoping that I don't get Kristen Hanna'd by this. This is about a woman who's like divorced and alone at the holidays. So like, how sad can that really be, right? Like, how much can Kristen Hanna really do with that? Seriously, Kristen Hannah's like, hold my beer. So here we go. Let's see if we get ugly crying snot bubbles from this one. Sorry, that was gross. I apologize. Mary Kay Andrews, we love her. Christmas Bliss and Blue Christmas, I don't know what order these go in, but y'all, if you know Savannah Blues and Savannah Breeze, is that right? The Wheezy Foley books set in Savannah, these are some Wheezy Foley books. So I don't know which one came first. I'm assuming each one was written like and released during a Christmas season. I love Mary Kay Andrews. I love Wheezy. And I'm going to inevitably, when we talk about these books, y'all go ahead and accept the fact that I'm going to call her Weezer because Steel Magnolias. So these are from online used books. Anyway, so we will read these. And so these are always funny and poignant. And there's always like a little bit of romance, but these might be good. Like I might space these out and maybe like do a little like Wheezy and then Kristen Hanna and then Wheezy just to, you know. The Afterlife of Holly Chase. Y'all, I read this book last year, but I read it so fast and I enjoyed it when I read it last year. But I read it so fast that I really want... Last year, I made the mistake of waiting till December to start reading my Christmas books. I know, rookie mistake. That's why we're talking about this year, because that's a rookie mistake. So I read it so fast that I think I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I'm going to enjoy it this year when I slow down and take my time reading it. So it's a modern day retelling of A Christmas Carol with the female Scrooge, and y'all, it is so good. I don't want to say too much because, first of all, I'm supposed to be talking about books I haven't read. I have read this, but I'm going to read it again. But it's, as I recall enjoying it a lot, I'm going to reread it, and hopefully I will love it again. But yes, modern day, it might be YA because she's a teenager, and I seem to recall not teenage like shenanigans and antics, but the things that she deals with in the book, like I'm going to enjoy some of my holiday beverage while we're chatting. Oh, that's good. Y'all, it's cold and rainy and just not nice today. It's yickety out. But anyway, the things that Holly Chase deals with are definitely like teenager type issues. So I do think that's YA. But yeah, we're going to reread The Afterlife of Holly Chase and Wreck the Halls. Y'all, I don't know how this might have been, sorry, let me make a sentence. I don't know how I came across this. This might have been, remember last week we talked about, and if you didn't, then link it here because I know you can be watching this at any time, but I will link the video here. Last week we talked about BookBub and Pixel of Ink and some other places to find free and reduced priced ebooks online without like spending forever looking. Well, once you get into those things, they send you emails, well, every day, but then on the fairly regular, once they start seeing what you look at and who you like, they start sending you emails of books that you might like and like recommendations from authors that you like. And I'm thinking that might be where I saw this. I believe Wreck the Halls was maybe a recommendation by, I can't remember who, but it is. So these two are the offspring. She's Melody and he's Beat. Seriously. They're the children of bandmates from like a really popular rock band that has long since broken up. And their parents are no longer friends. They don't talk anymore. But these two get thrown together in some kind of shenanigan. And I'm guessing they end up either fake dating and then fall in love or like for real dating and have to hide it, something. But look at how, and I'm 0% kidding when I tell you that when this came up in my BookBub thing, I was like, I'm not buying that book. Like, don't even look at that. You're not buying, don't even look at that. You're not buying that book. And if you do, you're not going to buy the actual physical copy. You're just going to get the $1.99 ebook. So don't even look at the physical copy on Amazon. Oh, look how cute that is. All right, I'm just going to buy this. But I'm not going to look at any other books. So then I got the Christmas Fix, which was one of those, you know how, that's backwards. You know how on Amazon when you're like looking at a book and you scroll through and you're trying to convince yourself not to buy it and you accidentally go to the bottom and then there are like 5 other similar books that Amazon's like, oh, if we suckered her into buying that one, we can totally get her to buy this one. No, you can't, Amazon. I'm stronger than you. So this, the Christmas Fix, is about a mayor or like town manager or something of a little town in Connecticut who his house gets hit by a hurricane. And you know those like fixer TV shows that like come to somebody's house and like do all the like the renovations? Well, a renovation show comes to fix his house. And that's the Christmas Fix, is they're going to Christmas fix up his house. And of course it's, you know, like the hottie hostess or whatever on the renovation show and the town manager guy end up getting in smoochies together. I'm assuming that's what happens. Y'all, I don't really know. It was cute. It went with this. I was weak. I bought the books. So you're probably thinking, oh, that's not that many books. You're all right. Why are you acting all dramatic? Well, let's talk about the books that I have on Kindle. Y'all, hi. My name's Danielle. I'm a Kindle book hoarder. So I made a collection in my Kindle books of Christmas books, and here it is. So let's talk about these books. I'm going to try to go through in a somewhat logical manner. These are ones, I don't have physical copies of these. I just have them in, they were either like the $1.99 or 99-cent or free for the day BookBub or Pixel of Ink books, or they're actually in Kindle Unlimited, which y'all, this video is going to be 4 hours long, so I'm not going to get into Kindle Unlimited right now, but there are so many cute and fun Christmas books in Kindle Unlimited, so if you don't have it and you've been thinking about maybe getting it, and you still have that like 30-day free offer that Amazon gives you, no, wait, don't do that. Wait till Black Friday, because on Black Friday, they usually double that. So you can usually get 60 days free if you sign up for Kindle Unlimited during their Black Friday deal. So if you haven't tried it yet and you think you might want to, I highly recommend go ahead and try it and then just cancel it. If you don't like it, just cancel it. Like if you're not reading, now I think it's $11.99 a month. If you're not reading $11.99 a month worth of books in there, just cancel it. But some super cute Christmas books. So the books I'm going to show you, I either have most of them. I either got Kindle Unlimited or for like $1.99, 99 cents or freebie from one of those places that we've talked about. So let's start with Just Don't Fall, which y'all, this is actually seasonally appropriate for now, I think, because here's what this is about. big shot hockey player, gets hurt, comes back to his hometown, and it's like the small town. Y'all know how I love me some small town rom-com romance tropes. Not sure if this looks like a rom-com. Not sure it's a rom-com, but comes back to his small hometown to rehab his hockey injury and ends up having to be some kind of managed by his high school girlfriend, whose heart he of course broke when he either left to go to college or whatever. He broke her heart. So she's nursing the broken heart and has to deal with this guy either as like the social media manager or something. So they have to they're like thrown together in this, like, he comes back as the big shot setup. And it's during the fall. It's not Christmas. So that's seasonally appropriate. But that's one of the only ones. So that one, and then Enjoy the View, which is book 3 in the Moose Springs, Alaska. I think it's a trilogy. It's definitely book 3. But I think there are only 3 books. And y'all, I read books 1 and 2 and loved them. So this is small town Alaska, and it's just all the things. So it's got all of the small town tropes. It's the small town characters. But you've also got, it's a tourist attraction. It's like a touristy place in Alaska. So you've got the, sort of like big city people coming in and the mixing of the small town and the big city people. Books 1 and 2 were really good. It was interesting characters, great banter. I'm afraid that book 2 wasn't as good as book 1, so I'm concerned that book 3 we might be on a downward slope with these, which is why I haven't read it yet. I've had it for a while, and I haven't read it yet, but I thought I'd throw it in with these and maybe get around to it. I might read it after Christmas going into the new year, because it's Alaska. It's always snowy, so Christmas, like, it's always like a fitting Christmas, like, wintry book. So now let's get into the Christmas books. Y'all, Mistletoe Mayhem. Buckle up. Shayla and Seamus, yes please. So they live in America, and he's like a park ranger or something. He's like, this super humble guy. Well, they decide they're going to go to Ireland. His name's Seamus. They're going to go to Ireland for Christmas. So he's this super humble, like, I don't know, park ranger or something, some like, resources guy in America. Well, he's royalty in Ireland. So we get all of those, like, I assume it's going to be, like, Shayla's going to be fish out of water because she's going to be the American girl tagging along with the Irish royalty. And I mean, there's got to be the ex-girlfriend back in Ireland, right? Like, how can there not be? So I'm excited about that. I'm certain it's going to have absolutely beautiful scenery. Does it snow in Ireland? Somebody tell me in the chat if it snows in Ireland, because if so, I am 100% in. So that's Mistleto Malarkey, and there might be a mystery thrown in there too, I'm not sure. But I'm already all in regardless. Meet Me in London. Fake dating trope. So Victoria is an aspiring, like, clothing designer or something. She has like a normal job, but she's an aspiring clothing designer by night. She ends up falling in with a dude whose family is opening a new, like, department store in London, and his mom's all over him I think they're off schedule getting the store open, so mom's like breathing down his neck, and Christmas is coming, so she wants to meet his girlfriend, who I think maybe he's been talking about this girlfriend. Well, of course the girlfriend doesn't exist. So he somehow meets Victoria and tells her that he'll put her clothing line into the department store when it opens if she'll fake being his girlfriend for the, like, family Christmas festivities. Seriously, y'all, what could possibly go wrong with that? So I'm sure hilarity or drama will ensue from there. So that's Meet Me in London. Christmas at the Valentine Inn. Y'all, I think there's a series of these, and I think I have at least one more of these somewhere. This might be a Kindle Unlimited book. So the Valentine Inn is owned by, I think, the Valentine sisters. I think they're a pair of sisters. And our main character is one of the sisters. And she's super cynical about love, like doesn't believe in love, doesn't believe in love. And then the hottie McHottie who, I don't know if he broke her heart or if she just was in love with him, something, who got away, swoops back into town with all of his baggage. He's got the kids, the maybe dead wife or broken heart or something, but he's toting all the baggage. So those two somehow end up getting thrown together, and he has to help her save this huge romantic wedding that's scheduled at the Valentine Inn on Christmas Eve. So maybe he's staying at the inn, and they're friends because they have this past thing. And there's this wedding, and he has to help her save the wedding or something. I don't know. But that's Christmas at the Valentine Inn. So it's rekindled lost love, maybe. I don't know what it is, but it looks fun. So we're going to do it. And I think it's one of a series. So then we go from the Valentine Inn to the Snowflake Lodge for Christmas at the Snowflake Lodge. Now this one I don't have super high hopes for. I don't know where it came from. It's just in my Kindle. This might, I don't know what this was. This might have been like a freebie buy. But our female main character, I don't remember her name, she's like a plumber or something. And her uber rich grandfather or great grandfather is on the lam. Something about his much younger third wife like showed up dead or something. So he absconded to Scotland or Ireland or somewhere. So she follows him, and she's going to try to figure out what happened and like clear his name. So that's how we end up at the Snowflake, Scotland. I think it's in Scotland. That's how we end up at the Snowflake Lodge, is that she follows her grandfather or great-grandfather there to try to help him get out of trouble. And I think maybe there's a private eye, like maybe grandpa runs away, private eye follows him, and then Jessica maybe is her name? I might be mixing up all of my main characters, but she follows him there to try to figure out the whole situation and help him get out of trouble. That's Christmas at the Snowflake Lodge. So I think that's our last serious book, if these could be considered serious. And now we get into some rom-coms. And we start with How to Ruin the Holidays. Y'all, this one. Seriously. So our female main character hates the holidays. She's over the whole thing. She's just going to work right through it. So she decides to take a business trip to Montana, where, y'all, seriously, I don't think there's anything but small towns in Montana. So she ends up in this small town. Y'all know how I love a small town trope. And it's like this small, like perfect Christmas village that's just all decked out and done up for the holidays. So she escapes her regular life to get into exactly what she's trying to get away from, complete with the perfect holiday man. And I think his last name is actually like Holiday or Santa or Christmas or something. So, of course, they end up together or something. There's some kind of something with the two of them. So that's How to Ruin the Holidays. And then we have my Xmas Emergency. Y'all, this one looks amazing. So our main character is Callista, I think, who was a wild child growing up, left her small town, swearing never to return, goes away, makes good, becomes a doctor, becomes an ER doctor, hence the emergency, ends up back in this small hometown she came from because something about her niece. Her niece got her to come home. So she goes back to this town she swore she'd never return to. And her niece ends up throwing her together with, I think it's an ex-boyfriend. Of course it's an ex-boyfriend. It's called Xmas. So her niece ends up throwing her together with her ex-boyfriend and tries to rekindle a romance between them. And I don't know if that's what the niece was up to the whole time or not. I don't know. We'll have to read the book and find out. So that's my Xmas Emergency. So y'all, then we have The Christmas Wish, which is about female main character. Like most of these, because they're rom-coms, most of them are female main characters. But female main character, she's a lawyer. Her career is either falling apart or her job just isn't going well. So she ends up going home for the holidays. I think, and typical like rom-com goes home to this, I think it's a small town holiday. And she ends up in like a Groundhog Day loop, and there's an ex-boyfriend involved. So y'all may recall the In a Holidays that we read last year that I did not like, but we're going to give this a shot. See how it goes. Because, so In a Holidays, which I didn't like, I just felt like there were two different storylines. Like there was one sort of like modern day storyline going along, and then there was this Groundhog Day loop going along. And they kind of just like coexisted. Like they didn't actually go together. So hopefully the Christmas Wish will do that better. It looks super cute, and I'm very excited about it. And y'all know, when we judge books by the cover, it never goes wrong. Stop judging me. All right, so that's the Christmas Wish. Y'all go ahead and prejudge me on this one. I'm going to drink some tea and give you a second to judge me. Because this one. Merry Elfing Christmas. I 100% bought because it has a cute cover and a cute name. Because here's what I think the storyline is. I believe it's about an actual, like, honest-to-goodness Christmas elf who's mad that he has to work Christmas. Like, he wants to do some other elfing job, but he has to do the Christmas elfing job, so he's mad about it. And I know, it gets worse. Something about while he's, like, doing the Christmas elfing job, he meets a guy, and they, like, exchange email addresses or something, so they keep in touch via email during the year, because, of course, he's at the North Pole. He can't be, like, coming down here visiting, dating folks, because he's a Christmas elf. So then he comes back the next year, and maybe they get together or something. I know, absolutely ridiculous, but y'all, the instant I call something ridiculous and, like, judge it as it's going to be stupid, I end up loving it. So go ahead and judge me for that. But the cover of this book is super cute, and it's called Merry Elfing Christmas. So Merry Elfing Christmas, y'all. And we're actually almost done. We got 2 more books. One is 'Tis the Season for Revenge. Now, this is a little troped up, but I'm kind of super excited for it. So, female main character gets dumped by her boyfriend of 4 years right before Christmas because he says, I think he just got accepted to, like, law school or something. So he had, or maybe, like, just got his, like, grown-up, like, big boy job or something, and said that she's not serious enough. So he dumps her. So she, to get revenge, goes and dates his boss. So she's trying to get the boss to invite her to the big firm, and I think it's like, I don't know, like a law firm or an investment firm or something. So there's like the big firm Christmas party. So her whole goal is to get him to invite her to the Christmas party to make the ex-boyfriend jealous. So why did he think she wasn't serious? I don't know. But anyway, so of course, sorry, there's a felon over here, so I'm waiting to see what he's trying to do. So of course, during this whole thing, she ends up catching feelings for, I'm assuming that she ends up, because what else could possibly happen other than that? She ends up catching feelings during, like, the fake dating, making the boss jealous thing. So that's 'Tis the Season for Revenge. And y'all, our final book, and this is another one I'm not super excited about. Like, this is probably going to be, like, last on the list, and maybe we'll get to it if we get to it. It's A Merry Little Meet Cute. Here's what I think it's about. I believe the female main character is an adult, like an adult entertainer. I don't know if it's, like, online. I don't know what her gig is, but she's an adult entertainer. And she's an actress and ends up getting a gig in a family-friendly, like in a movie for a super clean, like family-friendly network. Like, it's like the Hallmark Network kind of thing. So she has to hide the fact that she's in the adult entertainment industry. Well, her male counterpart, like the male lead in her family-friendly movie, knows her from her other entertainment venues because he's like a subscriber on her channel or something. So they end up hooking up and, like, having a relationship. I don't know if they're hooking up or having a relationship. I don't know what their deal is. But they end up having trysts. We'll put it that way. They end up having trysts, which they have to keep secret because if it gets out, then that'll blow up their whole, like, super squeaky clean image on this Hallmark movie channel kind of setup. So, like, that's the whole, their Merry Little Meet Cute was on the scene of this Hallmark movie setting thing. But anyway, so they have to keep that whole thing on the DL or it'll blow up their, like, Hallmark movie project, I think. Y'all, if you've read this or you know anything about it, let us know in the comments because I don't know if that's right. So anyway, that's it. That's my entire Christmas TBR. Y'all, I know it's going to take me till next Christmas to read all these books, but if you know anything about any of them, if you've read any of them, if you know any of the authors, let us know in the chat, because I need to triage and prioritize these and figure out what I'm going to read. So, and y'all, let us know what you're reading. Are you reading Christmas books now? Are you still reading Halloween books? Are there like Thanksgiving books we're supposed to be reading in between? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we're most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.